Hi there, my name's Colin and this is the Action Figure Resource video channel, the place for all your action figure news, reviews, tutorials and guides. Today I'm going to be taking a look at 10 of the weirdest and most unusual Funko Pop Final figures ever released. But before we start, don't forget to support this channel by subscribing below, smashing the like button and clicking the bell icon to be informed of all my future videos. When you click on the bell icon, make sure you select all from the drop down menu. Funko Pop Finals are quickly becoming the trolls of our generation. All over the world, people scramble to conventions and stores to find the latest and greatest of these collectible figures. Despite their simplicity, there seems to be no stopping the appeal of them. There's no hard and fast rule on what TV shows or movies make the best Pop Final figures. If there is a fan following, there will be a Pop Final. Even so, there are still a handful of them that make you wonder who the target audience actually is. Today we're going to take a look at 10 of these ones. The first figure we're going to look at number 10, is the A-Team fan with B.A. Barracus. But before I get into the countdown, I just have one small favour to ask you. If you want to help support this channel so I can continue making these videos, why not become an AFR member? And for less than $2 a month, you will get access to a database of more than 60,000 individually listed action figures with information on their release dates, their accessories, rarity and historical values. You will also find hundreds of tutorials, guides and checklists free for you to download, and hundreds of exclusive videos not listed anywhere else. To learn more about becoming an AFR member to the best action figure guide, see the link here or in the description box below. Okay, so at number 10 we have the A-Team van with B.A. Barracus. It's understandable that somebody would want to collect the A-Team memorabilia. After all, it was a hugely popular action series in the 80s and made big stars out of its cast members, most notably Mr. T, who portrayed the formidable B.A. Barracus. But why would you want a final of the A-Team's fan with Mr. T's popping out of the top, making it look as though his head had been sliced off? Particularly as there is a solo figure also available. This fan looked rather bizarre, but it seems there are people out there who want it, so who am I to judge? At number 9, we have the Sharknado Pop Final. This Sharknado Final figure is so ridiculously bad that it's quite good. The 2013 movie of the same name was sitting pretty with 82% critical approval on the Rotten Tomatoes website, and there have been several sequels since, proving that there's no accounting for taste or reviews. Even so, you have to question the purpose of this figure about this rather absurd franchise. Let's not beat around the bush. This Shark Final looks just as ridiculous as a toy as it did in the movie. At number 8, we have the Dr. Frankenferter Pop Final. The 1975 The Rocky Horror Picture Show movie is a cult classic and has built up a legion of fans over the decades. Even to this day, you'll find a host of people who get together every Halloween season to sing the Time Warp along with other musical numbers from the movie and dress up to look like members of the cast. When Funko director said that Funko existed wherever there was a fan base, he wasn't kidding, and his Frankenferter Pop Vinyl proves the case. This Frankenferter figure actually looked quite good and cute rather than scary. At number 7 we have the Sweet Tooth Pop Final. It's sad how many gamers don't remember this twisted metal franchise. It was a vehicle combat game series that featured crazy characters and chaotic demolition derby gameplay. Additionally, There was talk that Sony was interested in making a live-action film about it, with Brian Taylor set to write and direct. However, unfortunately, it never went anywhere. One of the most popular characters in the franchise was Sweet Tooth himself. He was dressed like a homicidal clown and drove a jacked-up ice cream truck, and of course, Funko had to make a pop vinyl of him. Number 6 is the Bob Ross pop vinyl. Bob Ross had a resurgence of popularity after Ryan Reynolds lampooned him in the promo for Deadpool 2. The late painter and television host is an important part of American pop culture, yet you wouldn't peg him as the kind of guy who would need a Funko Pop vinyl figure. And it's proven to be quite a collector's item. If you're feeling really wild, check out the vinyl of Deadpool dressed as Ross as well. And number 5 is Cthulhu, which is based on the H.P. Lovecraft creature. The creature first appeared in the short story, The Call of Cthulhu, which was published in an issue of Weird Tales in 1928. Even more impressive is that Metallica wrote a song about it called The Call of Cthulhu. The misspelling was intentional, otherwise they'd summon the creature. Fans of the horror icon will be pleased to know that you can now own a pop figurine of the Cthulhu, although it doesn't look as fierce as you would imagine. At number 4 is a Funko Final figure of Paul Fegg. Paul who, I hear you say? That was my thoughts too. I mean, he may be successful and talented, but it isn't like he's a Martin Scorsese or Steven Spielberg or even a well-known influencer or Facebook personality. Mind you, there's always the possibility that this final serves as a masterful troll among friends. And number 3 is another personality, Steve Hiller. I only have one question to ask on this one. Why? It sucks how Independence Day Resurgence failed to live up the hype of its predecessor. At the time of its release in 1996, Independence Day was the highest grossing film of the year and even won an Academy Award for its visual effects. But if you mention the name Steve Hiller to the average person, most wouldn't know who you were talking about. Will Smith's Hiller is the hero who saved the world from an alien invasion. His bravery, however, has now been immortalised in the form of a final figure. The world thanks you for your service, Captain Hillier. Number 2 is probably one of the most hated and vilified characters in movies, and especially in the Star Wars universe. And this is none other than Jar Jar Binks, who comes in at number 2. To prove that they cater for all tastes, Funko couldn't resist releasing a final of this clumsy creature and is unashamed about it. Maybe they'll also unveil an evil Sith version of Jar Jar to trigger all the Star Wars fans out there. And at number 1, we have a White Walker Conan OBrien. Yes, that's right, a Conan OBrien White Walker. Much like every other being on Earth, chat show host Conan OBrien is a huge fan of Game of Thrones. He even had the pleasure and privilege of hosting a reunion special that brought back all the actors who've come and gone on the epic fantasy series. Additionally, OBrien has received the honour of being reimagined as a White Walker Final from Funko. It's a rare item to pick up, but it's definitely something outrageous to add to your collection. After all, who wouldn't want to see a zombified OBrien among the rest of your Game of Thrones pop finals? So, what do you think of my strangest and most bizarre Funko Pop final figures ever? Do you have any of these? Let me know in the comments below. If you're looking for any carded or loose action figures, see the description box below for a link to the AFR Vintage Action Figure store, which has great prices, monthly sales, special offers, worldwide delivery, and a great customer loyalty program. Don't forget to support the channel by subscribing below, smashing that like button, and clicking on the bell icon to be informed of all my future videos.
actionfigureresource.com. Yesterday's toys, today's treasures.